Hello and welcome to the Icaran Sector. This is Andrew, and this is another quick series that I've thought about doing called The Emperor's Champion. So following on from the games which had 4 different Xenos armies, I decided, I enjoyed doing that, so I'll do it again. So today we have 4 Imperial armies. Guilliman has found a little bit of downtime and he's decided to boost morale, and he's had 4 armies select a small force, and they're going head to head to find out who the Emperor's champion is. This is all about bragging rights. This is all about glory for the Emperor. And as with the last game, we will fight on the same terrain all 4 games. So here on the Ruin of Redmane, we have some terrain features. We have line of sight blocking. We've got some barriers, and we've got a few different map layouts for today, which we'll look at shortly. So again, fairly straightforward. 4 armies, 500 points. I'll go through the armies in a second. We've got another one brand new to the channel today, which is kind of exciting. We'll see how they do. Basic rules for this one. They'll start with 500 points. They'll start with 3 command points. Any warlord traits, any command points spent on extra warlord traits, etc. carry forward, and they can only use that for the whole games. Although if they want to choose different deployments or putting things in reserve, they can do that each game that they decide. And the only other thing to mention is Guilliman has outlawed command point rerolls altogether. So the dice will tell the stories today. So let's go look at the armies. The first army today is 500 points of Sisters of Battle. So today they're running as Ebon Chalice. So they get 2 sacred rights that I can pick. And if I use a miracle dice, if I discard another, it automatically becomes a 6. They're led today by the Canoness, who has Warlord trait, Terrible Knowledge. So the first miracle dice we gain on the turn is always a 6. And on a d6 and a 5+, if I use a command point, I get it refunded. And she also has the relic, the Iron Surplice of Saint Estelia. So she gets an extra wound, 2-up save, and 1s to 3s to wound will never wound her. She can only be wounded on a 4-up. There are 10 troops. Melter, Multi-Melter, Flamer, and Combi Melter with Chainsword. 5 Sacrosancts with the Spear. 5 Dominions, all with the new Stormbolter rules, Power Sword and Bolt Gun on the Superior. And then we have the Immolator with the Flamers. So we will see how well these girls do, and they'll be running red dice today. On to the next army. 500 points of Custodies, led by Shield Captain in Terminator armor with a spear. He has these are running as Dread Host. So he has Warlord trait, Superior Creation. So he ignores wounds on a 5-up. He paid a command point for Master Captain Commander. So he has Indomitable Constitution, so he's got 2 extra wounds. And he's got the Eagle's Eye, so he's got the 3-up invul. He has 3 Guardians, all with spears, and 3 jet bikes. And there's no daggers on any of them, because I always forget to use them anyway. And we're running black dice for these guys today. And here we have 500 points of Knights. We have a super heavy detachment, so they're all individual units. So we have the character, which has Iron Bulwark for a 4-up invul, and the Armour of the Sainted Iron for a 2-up save. And both the Helverins have stubbers, and there's a melter on the Warglaive. And of course, these always run as with a glorified history, so they can re-roll a single hit roll. and Hounds of War, so they can either fall out and charge or fall out and shoot with a -1. So there is a grand total of 3 models in this army at 500 points, so we'll see how well they do. And last but by no means least, new to the channel, 500 points of Imperial Guard. These are a somewhat Dune-inspired army, so we are led by the Duke Leto Atreides, who is the company commander. And these we're running as Catachan rules. So the infantry are all +1 strength, because, you know, these guys are supposed to be strong. And vehicles, when they fire a range weapon, which is just these two here, they can re-roll any of the dice to determine the number, or they can re-roll 1 dice to determine the number of attacks. So there's a D3 weapon and D6 weapon there. So, and he has Master of Command Warlord trait, so he can give out another order. And the relic is on the Psyker, so he's got the Death Mask of Aurelius, so he has a 4-up invul save. The Psyker himself is Paul Atreides, and he has Terrifying Visions, so subtract 2 from leadership, and Gaze of the Emperor, so we draw a 2d6 line, and then roll a dice for each model, that each unit that crosses over, and on a 4+, that unit suffers a mortal wound. In the troops, we have 10 Fremen with Plasma Pistol and Power Axe, which is a Legend's choice, but hey, we're playing friendly games, and a Flamer. 10 Infantry with Plasma Gun, Chainsword and Las Pistol on the Sergeant, and the Autocannon. In the Elites, we have the Command Squad with Voxcaster, Grenade Launcher, Banner, and the Medic. Fast Attack, we have an Armoured Sentinel with Plasma and the Sentinel Blade. And then this model is not WYSIWYG, we don't have the side sponsons for points, but we have a Lehman Russ with the Battle Cannon and a single Heavy Bolter. So that is the 4 armies for today. And the rattle rounds follow pretty much exactly the same as I did last time. I drew the final first, round 1, round 2, and then we drew for the runner-up final. So for today, for the Emperor Champion, for round 1, we have Search and Secure. We have the 6 objectives. Each turn, 1 will disappear. Here is our deployment. And we must subtract 1 from the move characteristic and 1 from advance and charge roll. The moon is windy today. For round 2, we have the quarters. We have standoff. So there's an objective marker in the center and 1 each in the deployment zones. And you score 1 victory point if you control your own, 2 for the center, and 3 if you control the opponent's objective. And the atmosphere is thick, so the winds have settled down. But now you can't move, you can't advance, and you can only charge if you're within 7 inches. So that will hinder some. The run-out final, we have the odd deployment zone there. Prize, single model in the relic in the middle, pick it up. So the bronze is a decent prize this time. And Unstable Reality, we subtract 1 from the leadership characteristics and 1 from contrition tests as well. So yeah, 1s and 2s will always fail in morale there. That could affect a few armies. And then the final, we've got an interesting deployment zone depending on who faces off. Domination. So the 6 objectives, you can get 1 victory point for controlling more and 1 victory point for killing more units. And we have the Champion's Champion. So we choose one character model, and I think most armies only have 1 character apart from the Guard, which is the Warlord, and they get an extra wound. Oh no, they get extra strength and toughness. Go up by 1, and its attacks and wounds go up by 2. So if the Custodies get their champion who's already got extra 2 wounds is going to be brutal. Absolutely brutal. Alright, so that is how it's looked. Now we need to determine who gets what there. So first we're going to roll off to see who gets to choose first. The Knights get to go first. And the Knights will be in round 2. So let's see, who are the Knights going to go up against? The Custodians get to roll off next. That's dead in the centre. So the Custodians go on this side. Which one would rather go up against the Custodians? Ooh, all the Knights, to be honest. That's a tie. And the Sisters will determine where the... So the Sisters will face off against the Custodians, and the Guard will face off against the Knights. So that's a short introduction for the Emperor's Champion. The next game that should follow this video in about 5 minutes or so will be Custodians versus Sisters for the first round. We'll see who goes on to the final in that matchup and who goes on to the runner-up. Theoretically, the Custodians should also already be the Emperor's Champions, and if they don't win, then they were never here today. We'll see how it goes. So please do like and subscribe if you want to follow along with the rest of these 4 matches, and leave a comment. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to lose? Will there be an upset like there were in the games? Go check out the games if you've not seen that. And this time I will be careful, and all 4 games will appear, and I will not delete any of the footage, honest. I will make certain of that. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you in the first round of the Emperor's Champion.